So, my dear friend, Ben Veloso, happy trip. Victor Sanchez gets Tanduay Rhum going.
Well, yes, they are using two very tall forwards here in the persons of Sanchez and Lazaro. Francois Weiss playing as an off guard with Frankie Lim as the point guard for Tanduay.
Terry Saldana low posting on the matchup. It is Victor Sanchez keeping an eye on Rod Pasco. Melton is covering Jack Dorsey. He turns around, and we have a tip-in. No basket, but Jack Dorsey keeping it alive for Gilbey Gin Tonics, and Melton wins out. Outlet pass quickly to Sanchez. He will go.
Yes, he's one of the best receivers, has 4 points quickly in this ball game. By the way, Bill, what do you think of Dorsey as an import, as the taller import for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics?
I think Dorsey is one of the better imports in this conference, Andy. You can see he's a good shot. He's a good rebounder, even if he's only 6'7".
Yeah.
You can see his body is almost like Francois Weiss, you know. So Dorsey is a big difference in the Gilbey's team.
But many people say, like, if he went up against an Andy Fields, you know, it would really be trouble for him, because, like, even against Robinson, he had some difficulty shooting over these people who are much taller than he is.
Well, that also depends again on the play, Andy, because you see, Dorsey has a very effective hook shot, if you notice. Most of his shots are actually hook shots, which means he can shoot over a 6'10" or even a 7-footer. Now, the guy, after all, is an NBA veteran, and he's used to playing against tall players.
Could have been a great execution coming from Frankie Lim, but it hit the inside part of the bracket. It is the first foul call against Joseph Herrera, and referring to Jack Dorsey, when these two squads played for the first time, well, Jack Dorsey had 51 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, and he had no errors.
And he just came in from the States that day, about 2-3 days only in the Philippines when he played that first game. Now, that was the very first game for these two squads in the 1983 Open.
Well, Francois Weiss is another factor here for Tanduay Rhum. He continues to shine, and based on the first meeting of last August 28th, had a triple-double, 40 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists.
There's a good offensive rebound by Dorsey, just like you were mentioning, Bill. You know.
He got that rebound, and then he hooked it.
How about this George Melton?
Well, Melton also has his advantage because he is taller, and on the record you can see that he's got a very good shooting percentage.
That's true. He was one of the top shooters in the NCAA Division 1982, second division, however.
Both teams are carrying a 5-7 slate, and the winner will gain at least a tie for one of the quarterfinal slots, while the loser will have to win in its last match. That'll be October 27th to stay in contention.
Toyota will play against the Tanduay Ram Makers, and the Gilbey's Gin Tonics will have to go up against the San Miguel Beermen on the 27th. Supposed to be the last day of competitions in the eliminations, and let's not discount any possible playoffs.
Time in this first quarter, 8:56. It's a 4-point game being enjoyed by Tanduay Rhum. It is 8-4. Here comes Frankie Lim. Rod Pasco keeping an eye on him. Lazaro, he'll have to give it out because he'll move to his favorite spot. He has got to go a little bit lower. He's beginning to inch, and Melton goes to low post.
If you notice, Tanduay, the last 4 minutes they've been running. They're forcing the imports of the Gilbey's Gin Tonics to run with them. Now, if they cannot get a fast break, then they set it up.
So far, this is the biggest lead of Tanduay Rhum. It is 10-4, over and out. 6 points. It's a 6-point game. 8-20.
No, by the way, Bill, we never asked you who you think is going to win this ball game.
At this point, even if Tanduay is leading, I really can't predict, Andy. It's anybody's ball game. Believe me, these two teams are good teams. Import for import, they're about equal. Local for local, they're also about equal. So even in their team standings, they're equal. So
you think it's going to be very close, huh?
Yes, as Baby the Lupan would say, the breaks of the game, you know. And look, there, you see how Tanduay is fighting. There's Francois Weiss with that offensive rebound. My God, they're really out for the kill, you know.
Well, speaking of rebounds, Fran Weiss already has 4 rebounds. It's 3-1. Melton has 1. Here is Joseph Herrera bouncing it to Lou.
Well, that was a good break there for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics. Tanduay ready to go into the fast break. There was a good steal. It was a 3-on-1 situation. Perfect.
Time is 7:30. By the way, Coach Tito Eduque invites you to come to Continental Camayan. Go to the second floor. You can eat with forks and spoons. It is the second floor of the original Camayan restaurant along Pasay Road, Makati.
That's right. Give it a visit there. You can see that the two tall imports, the two shorter imports of both squads are playing us on off guard. There's a foul by Joseph Herrera plus a hit from George Melton.
You know, Melton is such a tough player. He felt the nudge already from Joseph Herrera. He still went up vertical straight. I think nothing jars Melton unless his earring falls.
Melton with 4 points. Make that 5 Pingoy getting better every time.
Now looking over the imports of Gilbey's Gin Tonics, Dorsey has recorded already 4 points to his credit. There was a hit from Massey and a bounce pass, and we have a turnover.
Forced turnover. You can see Tanduay applying the full court pressure there. Frankie Lim doing that against Joseph Herrera. A 9-point lead in favor of the Tanduay Rhum makers.
Victor Sanchez swinging over to the baseline, going to the left side.
Yes.
And, we have the visibility of Melton very clear, Andy.
Dorsey's going to need some help from the locals. They must double team against Melton there.
A spin from Massey and powering inside. Looking over at Bill Warren, I still cannot associate Bill sitting here in this chair. I always think of him as on top of a horse.
Well, Pingoy, polo season doesn't start till January. And at about that time, of course, there's no more basketball games here in the PBA. And by the time the PBA starts, then the polo season is just about over. So
about the second week of March. Huh?
I tell you, it's a lot of people are just like me. We are ball game lovers or athlete lovers or whatever. We really enjoy these competitions.
Good straight inside from Terry Saldana. Quick pass now to Milton. It's a 7-point game being enjoyed by Tanduay Rhum. At the side, Sanchez becomes tentative.
The entry of General really speeded up the game of the Gilbey's Gin Tonics. Huh? They're coming back right now, but there's an outside shot missed by Lou Massey.
Melton gets tagged by Rod Pasco. Last line of defense. That's gotta hurt, he says.
Foul, Pasco.
The second personal foul call against Rod Pasco just brought Gilbey's Gin to their 15th foul. We have a timeout. We'll be right back.
Okay, do it. Very nice.
Andy, going back to that Thursday game wherein you experienced 3 overtimes, and you referred to that happening 1976. If you recall, that was also the year that Mike Bilbao, I think also in that particular game, that he had his debut.
That's right, with the Tanduay Rhum makers. But that game was also against the Noritake team, no? That's a 7-point lead enjoyed by the Tanduay, and you can see Frankie Lim posting himself up, trying to take advantage of the little height of Willie General, but an offensive foul called against him.
You know, somehow, Andy, I think that there was a little history in that particular move of Frankie Lim, because this was the one-on-one finalist.
Both of them are not in the contention right now, and the championship is being contested by Joseph Herrera and Eddie Mendoza of the Great Taste Coffee Makers.
General really having tremendous footwork. 6 on the shot clock. Massey knows it.
Well, he's one guy that can really take the shot off balance, you know. Another guy is Donnie Ray Coons, comes in for those squeakers, those curling moves there.
5:10 to go, first quarter of play. Here's Victor Sanchez letting go. Being kept alive by Wise tap, but going out to General. Quickly to Massey. Frankie Lim over there. He goes through, and Frankie Lim tags Massey, but he was moving and he couldn't apply the brake, so we have a collision.
That's right. No 2 charities will be given to Lou Massey in that play. Take a look at that on our San Miguel Beer slow-mo. There's the foul, and Massey continues to dribble before banging in against Big Sanchez under the basket. Already a dead ball situation at that point. No?
One tough guy to another. Certainly you don't want to meet them in a dark corner.
Lim with 2 personal fouls right now is being relieved by Miguel Bilbao.
The second personal foul call against Frankie Lim just brought Tanduay Rhum to their 4th team foul. We have just under 5 minutes. Bilbao quickly now to Victor Sanchez. Here's Lazaro. Oh, he can shoot inside effectively.
That's right, you know. He has very long arms, and that's the reason why he can maneuver himself there. Taking it from about 14 feet, making it.
Well, Lazaro, the first time that they met, August 28th, had 34 big points, pulling down 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and limiting himself to only 2 passing errors.
That's that guy there on the screen, the coach of the Gilbey's Gin Tonics. Valenzuela was the coach of Lazaro all throughout his college days and his amateur days. No?
Well, going back to Gilbey's Gins, they only have 3 scorers. Their imports 6 apiece and 1 contribution from Terry Saldana. While for Tanduay Rhum, there are 4 players scoring 7 points, top scored by Melton, 4 from Wise, Sanchez, and Lazaro.
Only 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Lazaro throwing it out from the outside. There's going to be a loose ball foul on Vic Sanchez.
Body contact called against him. That is his first personal. So both squads now are in 5 team fouls. It is a 5-point game being enjoyed by Tanduay Rhum. Under 4 minutes, first quarter. Bilbao taking Generalao and immediately gives him the body check. And because of that, hit the foot of Generalao. We have a turnover.
And we have a substitution for Tanduay. Sanchez is now being replaced by JB Yango. By the way, Bill, who do you think is going to win this? Oh, I mean the whole series, the whole
the whole series. Well, historically, remember last year when Great Taste, at the time playing under the name of N. Rich, was leading in the eliminations. In fact, they gained an outright berth.
But they
only to collapse in the semifinals and in the finals. So at this point, even if they are the favored team, and then of course you have Crispa also, who is gunning for the Grand Slam 3 as the other favored team. I will never discount any one of these teams, even the teams that barely make it into the quarterfinals. As you can see, Andy, they're all playing now, and the imports are improved, the locals have improved, and perhaps this long layoff of 2 weeks with the ones that qualify outright could even work to their disadvantage.
Well, Andy, if there's one fan that knows, it's got to be Bill Warren, because together with you, whenever there's an overtime, he's right there in his favorite chair, and he's got his blue cap on top of his head.
That's right.
It is a 3-point game right now, and Gilbey's Gin Tonics paying attention to defense, but they did not make the basket in the last fast break play. It's 21-18. Time is 2:20. And Yango just checked in a little while ago, getting his first personal foul. Incidentally, time is 2:21. We have a timeout being asked by Turing Valenzuela. We'll be right back.
Really never allowed. They're forced into an offensive foul by the leech-like guarding of Mike Bilbao. The overall court hustle.
By the way, Andy, you and Joe Cantada on your screens, the coaching staff of Gilbey's Gin Tonics, you'll be having a great coverage on Tuesday in the Shakey's 1-on-1 tournament.
The first is the semifinal round battle between Arnie Tuadles and Abby King of the Toyota Super Corollas in the Unlimited Height Division, to be aired after the live telecast of the Great Taste Winston game. If Abby King wins that match, he will be in the finals automatically, and will wait for a knockout match between Tuadles and Fernandez. And the second one-on-one between Joseph Herrera and Mendoza. Joseph can win it outright, to be aired after the halftime of the delayed telecast of the Crispa Gallery game.
While Melton of Tanduay Rhum has scored 9 points, top scoring now from both squads is Jack Dorsey of Gilbey's Gin Tonics. He's got 10 points, pulling down 6 rebounds, 4 and 2. Time is 1:27. Wise scoring his 6th point.
That's a 3-point lead right now for Tanduay, and Gilbey's Gin Tonics coming on very strongly in the last few minutes of the first quarter. Down by 11 at one point, but now just down by 3.
And Fran Wise pulling down his 6th rebound of 5 and 1, playing with 1 personal foul. Here is Bilbao, gets a pick.
Goes to Abed Gutierrez there, in and out of a glass, but JB Yango for the follow-up shot.
Well, JB Yango showing his tipping talents, because Milton did the same thing. It was a little bit too hard.
That's right.
It's a 5-point game being enjoyed by Tanduay Rhum. Wise on Dorsey, great matchup there. Dorsey looks at the referee saying, I felt a sting. Here is Wise. He'll bring it in.
That's going to be that foul by Terry Saldana, never giving up. Suspending himself there, both of the players. There was that contact by Terry Saldana. 2 free throws for Francois. Let's take a look at that on our slow motion. You can see there Saldana suspending himself as Wise pumped for the shot.
Good footwork, good balance by Wise. And normally when you get banged like that by Terry Saldana, you'll be taking a plunge. But look at the power and strength of Wise.
Only 28.6 seconds left. We have Watson now coming into the ball game for Rod Pasco.
Well, Tanduay Rhum certainly waking up. They enjoyed that victory over San Miguel Beer when they won 108-97 last October 16th, snapping out of their 6-game losing slump.
That's right. Oh, Mike Bilbao there again, taking the ball away from Lou Massey.
What a heady player. Going now to Wise.
Wise scoring 6 straight points for the team, and that 1-point lead is back to 9 points right now.
29-20. We have 9 seconds to go.
Massey taking it to the hoop this time. Huh?
Massey scoring his 8th point. Yango. So at the end of the first quarter, it is 29 for Tanduay.
Second quarter hostilities, 7-point lead for the Tanduay Rum makers. The Gilbey's Gin Tonics had to come back from an 11-point deficit and have to work harder in defense. Massey being provided a screen there by Ed Ducot, hitting it. And that's just a 5-point lead. The fast break play in the offing again for the Tanduay Rum team. Again, they set it up. Oh, traveling violation by Melton. Very clear.
Well, that was one time that Melton did not complain, didn't bat an eyelash. As a matter of fact, his face did not crack up.
Well, if you notice the sour look on his face sometimes, I think it's because of the intensity, It's helped the team come along. But they had that poor 6-game losing streak going for them, and they're trying to get back on track.
Here is Gutierrez. He'll try to go for that running shot.
You follow this guy, no? He's a pretty good player, Bill.
Gutierrez?
Yeah.
Yes, except that in this open, of course, he's not used much because you can only use 3 locals at a time. And he plays forward, and usually it's the backcourt locals that have most of the playing time.
That's true.
And the other local should be a big guy, so that he can also take on one of the imports to keep the other import in his team out of foul trouble.
Once upon a time, Andy, many years ago, just because it is Bill Warren, that is his name, he was the great superstar import in Paco.
Yes, Bingo, in those days, of course, we used to play in gravel courts, in these public schools. In those days, too, we were using rubber balls. And today, of course, a lot of basketball is being played with rubber balls, and and even in sidewalks and blocked off alleys, you can see basketball backboards hung up on a light post.
There we have Andy.
Some statistics there. Not very high percentage shooting by both of the squads in the first quarter. Massey with a 3-point shot there. 46% for Tanduay, 42 for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics. We have a substitution here earlier. Herrera came in for General Lau, and Freddie Webb making the matchup, sending in Frankie Lim for Mike Bilbao.
And both coaches are trying to outthink and outfox each other. We have Joseph in the wings. Wise quickly to Gutierrez, 2 steps ahead.
Yes, a very good receiver. Likes to run down the middle. That's Gutierrez and Sanchez almost have the same style. They like to go down the middle and wait for the outlet passes there.
9:50. That is the time here in the second quarter.
Good shot there by Jackie Dorsey. Has a total of 14 points right now.
Well, what is peculiar, Andy and Bill, in the second quarter, only the imports of Gilbey's scoring. And you have Dorsey now 14 points, 10 coming from Massey. On the part of Tanduay Rhum, in the second quarter, it is only the local scoring. Gutierrez 4 points, and then another hit from Yango. Now it's only now that Melton, the import, scoring.
If you notice Melton, he likes to tiptoe and then fake you off and then throw up that shot there from the back of the head a little bit there. But he's done that over a lot of imports. They always seem to bite into his fake. good play there by Steve Watson. One-on-one play. Did it very well, got a foul, has a chance for a three-point play.
Oh, it was written all over his face. He really wanted to get that basket. He had that confidence. He knew he could take Gutierrez, so he was inching backwards. Faked a little bit to the right and then shot it. Now he has this opportunity for a three-point play. And reviewing the performance of Steve Watson, the first time that these ball clubs met, he had 8 points, 6 rebounds, and no errors. One shot block to his credit. No posting is Wise. Right behind him, it is Massey. Watch him go. He will bring it in.
Yes. Massey left his feet there, and that was all Wise needed to go in through the baseline. An 8-point lead for the Tanduay Rhum makers. They've been controlling the ball game the first quarter and a half.
Sure, I heard you, Andy, and also Bill regarding the stamina of a squad. Good long range from Joseph Herrera, but I get the impression observing Gilbey Gin Tonics that after Thursday's 3 overtime, they look beat, tired a little bit.
They should be. 63 minutes is not a joke.
No doubt, but they'll come back. This team always comes back.
They have a good finishing kick.
Oh yes, they which is something that all the basketball fans look forward to, really, you know, because when a game is tight and it's played well by both squads, it's worth the time and the effort to come out here and watch the game.
Both of the teams hitting their outside shots and their inside penetrations. Melton again doing it over Dorsey, and this time he really got help from the locals.
Well, he seems to have his confidence very high against Dorsey, and tries his best to handcuff him. But Dorsey's a very tricky player, and we have Watson bubbling and trying to go for it. We have a turnover.
3-second violation. Watson could not control the ball, lost it for a while, picked it up, and his partners were caught for the 3-second violation.
Right now, it is an 8-point game being enjoyed by Tanduay Rhum. Their biggest lead was 11 points. Score then, first quarter, was 17-6. Inside to Frankie. Yango gets it.
Frankie and JB have been playing with each other for so long, they know each other's movements. They go all the way back to Sambeda and to the amateur team of the Eco Tanduay squad.
Here is Massey. Top of the key. It is Joseph offline. Melton now pulling down his 4th rebound. Quickly to Yango, bouncing it to Gutierrez.
Beautiful play there by Tanduay. They're running so well. They're executing the fast breaks perfectly.
Yes.
And Gutierrez knocking in 6 points, all happening here in the second period with 6:30 to go.
The Gilbey's Gin Tonics were surprised finalists last year in the 82 Open, and they lost to Toyota 3 straight, but still it's a great feat for them entering the finals. But right now their backs are really against the wall.
It is a deliberate foul called against Frankie Lim. That is his 3rd, bringing now Tanduay Rhum to the 3rd team foul, while Gilbey's Gin Tonics is still clean.
Now, Bill, another thing that's been going on is a lot of basketball fans that said that why is Gilbey's really concentrating their output on the 2 imports? Do you think it's the coaching style or something like that, whatever?
Well, I personally feel that the 2 imports of Gilbey's have they have the shooting arm, you see, and their chances of scoring percentage-wise, I suppose, is better than if the locals made the attempt. And since an import like Lou Massey, for instance, can easily score even 50 points, inside or outside, why not, although I don't discount that their locals are equal to the task in some situations.
The reason why I said that, Pingo, is because Saldana has been a scorer. He has proven that in the reinforced Filipino. He was even posting up against Norman Black. But his role in the Open has really been something else. He does not score anymore for his team. And right now they're missing the services of Vargas. And here's another guy who has not really been effective in his scoring ability.
Right in front of us, although it's not on your screens, it is Fran Wise who's doubling up. He seems to be hurt. We have a timeout right now. We'll be right back. Believe it or not, but the Hulk the incredible Fran Weiss is hurting, so much so because he was favoring his right leg that Freddie Webb had to rest him, and it's happening with them in the lead by 9 points prior to the Yango free throw, and the time 5:40.
Lazaro had to be sent into the ball game for the indisposed Francois Weiss, who's right now not on the bench. He must have been taken out there, probably with Dr. Ben Salud. Oh, he's still there. See what's wrong with him. And Masi might take advantage of this, but good help from Gutierrez from behind. He does the Mike Bilbao thing.
Get possession, giving it safely to Lazaro. Now we have Franklin. There's a cut by Gutierrez. He gets away from traffic. Franklin, and he gets fouled by Generalao before he could take that attempt. It is a second personal foul called against Willie.
Generala was sent in during that timeout to replace Joseph Herrera. They're working under an 11-point deficit right now. The Tanduay Ram Makers looking very good here in the first half.
Dorsey pulling down his 7th rebound. 5-2. Low posting is Teddy Saldana. He can sky.
See, that's the play that I wanted to see, Bill. You know, I've seen him do that against Norman. Remember in that playoff between Gilbeys and Great Taste for the right to meet the Redmonizers?
Yes.
He pumped in more than 28 points in that playoff game. Huh?
Now, when Terry gets that ball in the keyhole area, that's his favorite. And you can be sure that his percentage there is better than average.
Well, Terry Saldana has contributed 4 points at this point in time, aside from 3 rebounds, 2 and 1, and we have a 15-foot shot coming from Jack Dorsey, who stopped scoring. 21 points now to his credit. Time is 4:20. There's a cut by Franklin. Good pass from Lazaro.
And Generalao had to apologize to Turing Valenzuela. His eyes were on the ball and not on his man, and the guy moved without the ball.
Chutz Costas, division manager of Metro Drug, has heard so much about Doña Nenas and looking forward to going there. He has heard about the Albert famous wet paella. Oh, beautiful pass.
Saldana with a give me.
And definitely for exquisite dining and relaxing atmosphere, come to Doña Nenas at Ansa Street, corner Makati Avenue. You'll probably see Chutz Costas there one of these days.
7-point lead for the Tanduay Rum Makers. The Gilbey's Gin Tonics trying to make hay while the sun is shining, because Wise will not probably return until maybe the second half.
Wow.
Now the turnover here and the foul on Lazaro. Well, you've got to credit Watson for his hustle. Personal foul called against Lazaro. We have a substitution. Yango being rested by Freddie Webb.
For Big Sanchez.
The banger.
The banger going up against Saldana. Saldana having 4 straight points for himself there. Now going to have to contend with a guy that can defend and use his body. Oh, but Dorsey is going to town.
Well, he made 10 points in the first quarter. Now in this second quarter, he's pumped in an additional 13 for a total of 23.
Well, with Weiss out of the game, Pingoy, Gilbey's will definitely try to catch up, you know, and you can see the scores right now. They're only down by 5 points, and here comes Gilbey's again.
Absolutely right, and they know whom to go to. As a matter of fact, even Massey's waiting for Dorsey to get back in place, and Massey, he's happy with only 1 basket here in the second quarter. So far he made a total of 8, and we have a foul. It'll probably be called against
Melton.
Foul Melton.
The first personal foul on Melton. We have a timeout. Join the panel, join the guessing game as to who will be our Magnolia Ice Cream best player of the game. Your guess might be the right one, and find out immediately after this game is over.
What's the flavor of the month, Kings?
It is a super one, and this month of October, it is the chocolate and chips. Mouth-watering.
Dorsey splitting his charities. They're cutting down the lead of the Tanduay Ram Makers to only 4 points. 2 minutes and 44 seconds. The Tanduay Ram now slowing the pace of the ball game. You know, they know that without Francois Weiss, it's going to be a handicap, so they're really trying to slow it down.
Here is Melton. Heavy shoulders.
Yes. Good turnaround shot there by George Melton. Carrying on the cudgels very well. Alone as a lone import right now.
You know, Melton is delivering. He's got 17 points, pulling down 7 rebounds, 4 and 3. Only 1 personal foul, but Dorsey is super hot.
Well, there's a missed shot there by Dorsey coming. Fast break play for Frankie Lim. He looks behind, makes the easy layup shot.
You know, in spite of the fact that Frankie Lim is carrying 3 personal fouls, Freddie Webb goes to him because he knows he can take care of the point.
Yes, and definitely he has an advantage over Willie Generalao. He stands about 3 inches taller than Willie, so that should be an advantage for him. And I think he's as quick as Willie.
Massey getting away 1 step from Lazaro, but Lazaro attacks him from behind. That is now the 3rd personal foul called against Lazaro, bringing Tanduay Rhum to the 16th foul.
Outside shot by Steve Watson, and he gets the ball to fall for him. Good break for Steve Watson in that play.
Well, Watson is getting visible here in the second quarter. He's pumped in all of his 5 points in the second period. He's trying to contain Gutierrez. Frankie Lim looking for the open man. Here is Lazaro, covered by Massey.
Oh.
Amazing, amazing.
What do you call that kind of a shot there? It's a scoop shot, but with a little body Englisher and leaning on Lou Massey in that play.
It is 57 for Tanduay Rhum, 49 for Gilbey Gin Tonics. Generalao is open.
This match is going to be as close as the match that we had on our delayed telecast there, and I'm sure you'd not like to miss the interview that we had with Coach Edo Campo of the Toyota Super Coloras at the start of the ball game.
Well, looking over at the bench of Tanduay Rhum, we noticed that Francois White just checked back. He's sitting with his teammates. However, the right leg is bandaged under the basket.
Oh,
Shot
good
block
block
from
by
Melton.
George Melton. You know, Terry Saldana was free for more than 3 seconds there. He did not get the pass, and Massey gave it to him a little bit too late. The defense had already been set up.
It is a 6-point game being enjoyed by Tanduay Rhum. Time is 30 seconds before the end of the first half. Massey on Lazaro. He's not going to do that the second time on me.
That's right. Massey's now serious about his defense, you know.
A fallout
Yes.
from Ray Lazaro. That's short.
Massey had a piece of that ball there.
Here is Watson.
Going for a 3-point play there.
Foul Lim.
That's a foul from Frankie Lim. That's his 4th.
This may force the hand of Freddie Webb. Frankie Lim, a very important point guard for Tanduay Rhum, now carrying 4 personal fouls. And here is Watson shining in the second quarter, looking for his 8th point.
Let's not forget, however, a guy like Bert De La Rosa, who's not seen action here in the first half. He's a guy that can score also.
Oh, he's one of the favorite Minutemen. He can respond, hit you 3 or 4 times in a row.
Only 2 seconds left. Lazaro must throw it up from the outside.
So at the end of the first exciting 24 minutes.
In the court anymore, Pinggoy?
No, as a matter of fact, we were trying to check and go to the dugout, but they had closed doors. But we did see him come back during the about last 3 or 2 minutes in the second quarter, and he was heavily bandaged already. Melton, he's got very, very heavy responsibilities on his shoulders.
Foul
That's right.
Melton.
And he just committed a foul there. Only his 2nd personal foul, however. He has to really play hard now. And his teammates must respond. Lazaro, Sanchez, these guys, and the guys like Frankie Lim must come up with the points. Dorsey's really comfortable. 4 straight points for Jackie Dorsey.
Well, if you recall, the first quarter was won by Tanduay Rhum. They were on top by 7 points, 29-22. And then with Weiss having an injured leg, Gilbey's came back and shot 31 points, and Tanduay had 28 at the end of the second quarter. Gutierrez doing a reverse.
There was a collision there between Sanchez and Generalao. No fouls were called. So the play continued with Gutierrez getting the 2 points. Dorsey shooting over Melton again, missing this time. Saldana sleeping tonight for those offensive rebounds.
Oh, yeah.
Super move coming from Saldana. As a matter of fact, he skied, kicking from the right and then sailing towards the left. It is a 2-point game being enjoyed by Tanduay Rhum. Could be tied. Melton pulling down his 11th rebound, 8-3. Bilbao taking care of the point. Willie Generalao trying to press him. Here is the banger. Sanchez short.
There's a foul there by Saldana, reaching in, trying to get the ball.
Foul Saldana.
It is the 3rd personal foul called against Terry Saldana. On team fouls, only 1 right now for Gilbey Gin Tonics, and 2 called already against Tanduay Rhum. Melton.
There's a loose ball foul there on Sanchez, plus a technical foul called against Big Sanchez for uttering some words after the foul was called against him.
Close-up shot of the banger.
Jackie
Victor
Dorsey
Sanchez.
will take the technical free throw, Pingoy, making it.
Jackie Dorsey standing 6'8", weighing 225 pounds. Do you believe that he likes what Joe does? Singing, and like you, dancing, and like Bill, reading. How come nobody likes what I like? Eating.
There's a loose ball foul there called against Jackie Dorsey. Only his first personal foul. Dorsey's been very offensive-minded tonight. He really wants to make up for the fact that against Toyota he was sitting throughout all the overtimes, and Massey was doing his thing.
These points from Gilbey Gin Tonics, all coming from Jackie Dorsey. Made 6 points. It's a 1-point game. If Massey scores, they'll be in the lead.
Yes. And Massey taking it to the hoop. You were saying something, Bill? You were
Yes,
going to say something?
this is the first time in a long time that the Gins took the lead, and like I said earlier, with Francois Wise out of the game, this puts Gilbey's at a definite advantage. Unless, again, Tanduay can come out with some spectacular plays.
Now, looking over downstairs, Tanduay, Rhum's Fran Wise enters the court. Watson scores.
But he seems to be limping a little bit.
Yes.
He's dragging his right foot there.
Yes, it will just be his heart that will play here, and his skill, but I tell you, I doubt if he can run.
He is taped just below the knee. Lazaro loses the leather. Here comes Massey on a fast clip. Sidestepping, not getting the basket, takes a hard plunge. Oh, that's a floor burn.
Yes, and Mike Bilbao with a deliberate foul. Yes, let's take a look at that on our slow motion. Because Mike leaned down after Massey went for the layup. Mike went under him. That sent Massey splashing to the floor.
Next thing he knew, he was looking at the roof.
Mike also wanted to really protect himself from the rampaging Lou Massey. We have a timeout. We'll be right back.
Sweet Lou of the spotlight. Coming from Pineville, North Carolina. Graduated from the University of North Carolina, Charlotte.
Same place as Donnie Ray Coons. Massey, a second-round draft choice of the Los Angeles Lakers.
He's keeping an eye on Ray Lazaro. Watch this move of Ray. Lazaro good for 8 points now. Had 6 during the first half. Carrying 3 personal fouls. Here is Massey pumping once, going up. Lips out. Terry Saldana in the thick of the fight.
He's like a tiger there.
Yes, Terry is famous for his offensive rebounds. You know, a lot of coaches seem to forget about Terry when they send their big man up there in the slot, you know. But this guy has an uncanny way of squeezing his way in that shaded area, grabbing that offensive rebound and scoring, you know.
They say, you know, that one of the faults of a player in defense is forgetting to box out, you know. But when you're as tall as Terry, you know, and he's going up against a local, and he's lean, no? So it's really very difficult to box out, just like Buck Williams, no?
Yes, Terry jumps very high. I've seen them in practices sometimes. Terry can jump almost as high as Ramon Fernandez, and his timing, which is very important, is almost perfect.
Well, Bill, let me ask you an inside question, because you have many friends, not only players, but also coach officials. What was the philosophy behind Toyota's letting go of Terry Saldana?
Well, the philosophy there, Pingoy, was that Terry is a center, you see. And the Toyota team has too many centers. You have Ramon Fernandez, you have Abe King, who can also play center. You have Ricky Rellosa, Paul Herrera. And what the team needed in Toyota was backcourt men. That's why they traded off Terry Saldana. Otherwise, they would have kept him. You see, Terry is really a center, and he's very effective in the keyhole area. However, from the outside, he's not too effective.
He doesn't really have an outside shot. That's correct.
No.
Well, Terry Saldana is showing and demonstrating his effectivity. Not only does he have 8 points to his credit, but he has also pulled down 8 rebounds for Gilbey Gin Tonics. That's 5 and 3. Make it now 9, 6 and 3.
Yes, with the defensive rebound, that he jumped almost as high as Jackie Dorsey in that play.
And speaking of Jackie Dorsey, he now has scored his 31st point.
Good fast break play there. Melton may get his back off the glass. Yes, Dorsey going for the steal. Had to sacrifice something there.
Well, Tanduay is only down by 3 at this point. And if they can keep this up and crawl back, it will really be a game.
That's right, you know. It's not an easy picnic
No.
for the Gilbey Gin Tonics.
Now Tanduay is running. There's a 1-on-1 situation.
Oh, Gilbey missed it off the glass.
But don't forget that ever since Wise got hurt with 5 and 40 during the second quarter, the liability is now being carried by Tanduay Rhum.
Yes. You can see they're playing faster, they're moving better. Because they have to. You see, it's a case whereby they must take advantage of that advantage, which is mobility, as against the height on the other side.
You know, it's really a game of survival, and self-preservation can really get the adrenaline flowing.
Well, entering the third quarter, Gilbey Gin Tonics was down by 4 points. The half ended 57 for Tanduay Rhum, 53 for Gilbey Gin Tonics.
Yes.
Now we have the Minuteman responding.
De La Rosa with his first 2 points, but he can really come in and kill you with his outside shots. He's a very good player, not really being given exposure because of the great play also of Mike Bilbao and Frankie Lim, but when he does come in, he's always prepared.
Time is 6 and 19. It is a 1-point game being enjoyed by Tanduay Rhum. It could be changed by Massey, who gets fouled on the act of shooting by
Bilbao.
Mike Bilbao. That is the 3rd foul on Mike Bilbao, bringing Tanduay Rhum to the 7th team foul. They are in team foul trouble.
Generalao is now being replaced by Joseph Herrera. Tanduay, after falling behind by 5 points, now they're back in the lead after a 6-0 blast. Massey can equalize and even give Gilbey's the lead.
You know, Andy, I was surprised to see that Joseph Herrera is seeing action tonight, because last night he was under the weather. As a matter of fact, he was trying to fight a fever.
Well, he has to be called into action. The Gilbey's Gin Tonics have a pretty good balanced lineup except for the guard line. You know, they only have 2 guards legitimate in the sense of as a playmaker. And Joseph Herrera is more as an off guard than a playmaker, actually.
Bounce to Dorsey. He sails past Mike Bilbao, who held his ground. 3-on-3 situation. Joseph Herrera covering Mike, going to Ray Lazaro, who spots. Yango shot block from Massey, but there is body contact.
Foul called against Lou Massey, his 2nd personal foul. 3-point lead for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics.
We'll see if we can get him on camera range, but if not, here's our Did You Know portion, that Raymond Chuck Barrero of Tanduay Rhum is presently the coach of the Arellano University team in the ongoing Philippine Amateur Basketball League. So far, Chuck is doing very well in his first coaching stint. His team having won 2 games in 2 outings.
That's a powerhouse team. You know, the former coach of that was the Cholo Martin, who's now in Bahrain coaching. No? But there's another professional that's coaching. That's Freddy Gonzalez of the San Miguel team, coaching their Magnolia team in the amateur.
Don't look now, but Dorsey has 35 points to his credit, had 23 at the end of the first half. Here is Ray Lazaro. He's looking for space, crowded by Massey, loses control. Joseph will pick it up. He's going on 2nd gear, being flanked by Yango, straight in.
Yes, and a foul from JB Yango. He has a chance for a 3-point play. Herrera using a left-handed layup. Lazaro is now being replaced by Saldi Latosa. There you can see the one-on-one play of Joseph Herrera against JB Yango.
I haven't seen Latosa in the court in a long time, Bill.
Yes, this comes also as a surprise, but I guess Tanduay is trying to conserve as much as they can of their energies, because it's going to tell in the 4th and last quarter, either in fouls or in plays.
Don't forget, join us in our selection. Guess And who knows, your guess may be right in line with our choice as to who will be our Magnolia Ice Cream best player of the game. Your guess might be it, and find out immediately after this game is over.
That was a lucky break there for Tanduay.
Yes. Let's see if they can capitalize on the return play. Melton getting
Yes.
an easy layup.
Latosa seeing to it that he can pass it over to the nearest man, the man nearer the basket. It is a 4-point game, still enjoyed by Gilbey's Gin Tonic, 77-73. Tanduay Rhum in team foul trouble. Time is 4:23. We're in the third.
Coach Freddie Webb earlier on your screens, missed shot, but against Saldaña with the loose ball recovery.
Last touch, Tanduay, so Gilbey's Gin Tonics will be keeping. And Terry Saldaña has already 12 rebounds. As a matter of fact, he has out-rebounded the two imports that they have. Dorsey only has 10 and 4 for Massey.
Driving play there by Watson. No fouls were called. He was looking for one. Tanduay again.
If they make this, they'll just be down by a basket. They go to JB Yango. De La Rosa snaps one.
Yes.
You know how quick Mike Bilbao passes that ball? You know, it barely touched his fingers, and he was already feeding off to the open man, using his peripheral vision to look for Bert De La Rosa. Oh, high shot there by Lou Massey.
That was more a magical carpet.
Massey already has 18 points, scoring 10 in the first half of play, coming on to life here in the third quarter. He knows he has the advantage and he's going to make use of that.
Well, one thing remarkable about Massey is that he's playing 5-on-5. He knows he's got the hot hand. He just wants to play defense because he's going to Jack Dorsey.
Tanduay will keep the ball on that tap-out play. 10 seconds left on their shot clock.
On the game clock here in the third quarter, it is 3:17 to go. Tanduay Rhum in team foul trouble. They're down by 4. On the shoulder is De La Rosa.
Only 2 seconds left, 1 second left on the shot clock, and he made it again. 6 straight points for himself for Bert De La Rosa.
Resumption of play. Massey fouled Latosa as he was driving from the baseline.
That's the third personal foul now of Magic Massey.
Andy, Bill, I doubt very much, unless it's absolutely necessary, that Fran Wise, because of his pulled muscle, can return to the court.
Yes, you know, he might not have the ability to even run at all.
But, you know, they could put Fran in for decoy purposes. You never know. They can fool the bench by making them believe that the guy is very potent.
But he can come downstairs to defend.
Well, perhaps they'll use him in the dying seconds of the game.
Maybe
you know,
one
and
play.
It could work, yes.
One offensive play.
Well, ever since he got sidelined because of that pulled muscle, Dorsey continues to go to town. 37 points. Melton has to do it.
Hitting the side of the board there. 4-point lead for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics. Saldaña scrambling to get the loose ball. Goes to Mike Bilbao.
You know, in spite of the fact that Fran Wise has not seen action, Tanduay Rhum is not doing bad. They're just down by 4.
And they have an opportunity to cut it down further to 2. They are playing, they're running, and if Gilbey's doesn't really take advantage of the situation, they might be sorry.
That's very true. You know, that really shows the famous cliche that basketball is still a team game, 5-man game, and our locals, how far they have improved already, Bill.
Definitely. You take the Toyota team. Right now they're playing with only one import at a time. And they have won some games. Of course, it's a tremendous disadvantage, but it's not at all impossible to win with just one American.
Especially if that American is Andy Fields.
Oh, yes.
That's a bad play there. They're trying to go for the fast break. Latosa was not expecting the pass. Mike Bilbao loves to hit Sanchez, Gutierrez, and Yango with those kinds, but maybe Latosa is a little bit cold from the bench. You know?
Andy, for the sake of our PBA fans, just in case they just checked in on Channel 2, what is your big Shakey's one-on-one on Tuesday.
Well, it's going to be Abe King and Arnie Tuadles in the semifinals to be aired after the live telecast of the Great Days Winston game, plus Joseph Herrera Mendoza after the halftime of the delayed telecast of Chris Park Gallery Dominique.
On your screens, we have Watson hitting the deck, taking a plunge. It is a 2-point game. Gilbey's Gin Tonics must not take this game for granted, and Dorsey knows it.
Well, Dorsey's really scoring so well. 39 points now for Jackie Dorsey. There's going to be a warning this time called on the Gilbey's Gin for delaying the ball game.
On the matchup here amongst the locals, Terry Saldana is covering J.D. Yango.
There's a blocking foul by Mike Bilbao, and he threw the ball at the head of Watson. Automatic technical is going to be called against Mike. There's no question about that.
Technical foul, Bilbao.
Well, there was color going between the two of them, especially when Watson took a plunge. And Mike Bilbao is just about burning.
That's right. There we see Mike Bilbao on the screens. He's moving away from Steve Watson. Dorsey missing the technical foul shot. And Mike Bilbao is now being replaced by Frankie Lim.
It is a 4-point game, and now Melton and Watson are exchanging conversation.
Massey pulls them away. There's a little color. Mike felt that Watson may be been defending a little bit too strongly against him and using some physical force there. A little bit rough in play.
Now let's go back to the business at hand, and that's playing good basketball among the professionals. Low posting is Melton, doesn't get the pass, and De La Rosa is fouled. It is called against Watson. That is his second personal, but his second personal brought Gilbey's Gin Tonics to the 17th foul with 27.5 seconds to go before the end of the third.
I think at this time, Pingoy Watson is beginning to lose his cool, you know, and one little fake of De La Rosa, and up he went, fouled him.
Right now, Turing Valenzuela trying to cool him off, sends in Willie General for Steve Watson. So he and Joseph Herrera will be in the backcourt for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics.
You know, Andy, Bill, if I recall right, ever since Steve Watson joined and became a pro, this is the first time, this is the first evening that he really lost his cool.
Yes, sometimes, Pingoy, when they're up there for those offensive rebounds, and you have 5 or 6 guys there muscling their way in, you can't help but get hit one way or other, unintentionally. And the guy that gets hurt, of course, feels that it was unfair, you know. And so he tries to deliberately, when he lands on his back, he loses his cool.
We now enter the fourth and last quarter with Gilbey's Gin Tonics on top, 87-84. Melton, air ball, and we have La Tosa keeping it alive for Tanduay Rhum.
Melton had to throw it up. There were only 2 seconds left in the shot clock. Because it was an air ball, it was not reset to 25 seconds. He made it.
Incidentally, Kegroom's roasted calf is ideal for Christmas parties at your company. And definitely, you can bring it anywhere, at a compound or at home. Call 85-44-43 for your reservations.
Saldana got the 2 points on a give-me pass by Willie General. That's a 3-point lead for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics. 11 minutes left here in regulation.
Our referees, don't forget, Messrs. Cruz, Bartolome, and De Los Reyes. It's a 3-point game. Melton wants to cut it down, and he is successfully doing just that.
29 points now for Big George Melton, and he's been providing a lot of rebounds for the team. Actually, 19, 20, 21, 16 rebounds.
Fran Weiss, that's the reason why the fans here in the Coliseum were applauding, because he was moving close to the check-in area. We have a turnover.
Yes, because there was a whistle that was blown behind us, and Jackie Dorsey stopped and looked at the referees, but there was no whistle blown by the referees.
Scoring by periods, Andy.
Good quarter there for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics, making hay while the sun is shining. Big Francois Weiss is back in the ball game for J.B. Yango.
Now that prank should not pull that again.
That destroys the game, you know. Weiss muscling his way in, plus a foul from Lou Massey. That's his fourth.
And Captain Courageous is delivering, and one of these days, it might become a fashion.
He's Hercules, now he's Captain Courageous. I wonder what he's going to be next.
Peg leg.
Francois Weiss, 14 points, make that 15. And we have...
You can see him. He's really lame. He can hardly run.
That gives Tanduay the lead, a 2-point lead for Tanduay. And he gets on the
He even
defensive,
get a rebound.
but he's now lagging in the backcourt.
That's okay as long as he's present. Here is Melton keeping an eye on Wise. He's in position. He'll jump.
Yes!
Got it.
George Melton scoring 6 points here in the fourth quarter.
What a tremendous performance from Melton. It forced him to really show the stuff he's got, and he is certainly showing it tonight. Sweet Lou.
When the going gets tough, they go to Sweet Lou.
The tough really gets going, and I tell you, Lou is tough.
Well, here as we enter the fourth quarter, only 2 players from Gilbey's Gin Tonics have scored so far. Terry Saldana and Sweet Lou a little while back. Outlet pass from Henry Lau. Joseph without looking, giving it to Massey.
Massey, 4 straight points, and we have another tied ball game at 93 all.
Would you believe it, Bill, Andy, that this is the very, very first deadlock?
Wow. So we can look forward to a real tight finish here.
That's like you were predicting at the start of the ball game.
There you go, Latosa.
Oh.
His first attempt was it, and he scored.
This is now the 4th point for Rudy Latosa. Made a basket during the 3rd quarter. That's one offensive rebound. And Dorsey wanted that basket. He was fouled on the act of shooting by Melton. That is the 3rd personal foul called against George. And as we watch Dorsey take it from the line, watch out for the Crosby Inside Basketball portion after this game. Andy Howe's topic tonight is team standing possibilities.
That's right. And by the way, Pingoy, this year's Most Valuable Player Awards night presentation will be held this December during the finals game, one of either the 3rd or 4th or the 5th at the Big Dome, and will be brought to you by the Go-Go Crosby Rubber Shoes.
And I'm sure the winners will definitely have a Merry Christmas.
That's true. Fernandez, the last year's winner of the MVP. Saldana, the Rookie of the Year last year.
Melton going to Frankie Lim with 7 on the shot clock. He was fouled as he received the pass. Guilty party was Henry Lau. It is now the 3rd personal foul called against Willie.
27 points for the 2 imports of the Gilbey's Gin Tonics during the 3rd quarter. They had a total of 34. They really went to work there, and they got a lead, but right now it's a 95 all count.
Big man of the boards, Terry Saldana, pulling down a total of 14 so far, 9 and 5. He's got 3 personal fouls on him. Time is 8 and 10 seconds to go. This is now the 3rd deadlock. And double checking the figures of Larry Shan, the first deadlock was at 57, the second was 93, and now 95 all. Dorsey wants to break it.
And the little fellow there, Willie Henry Lau, pulling an offensive rebound and giving off a pass to Dorsey.
They go to the Minuteman. Willie really keeping an eye on him. Latosa takes it from the shoulder. Henry Lau.
Oh, what a shot there by Willie.
Beautiful maneuver.
Couple of magicians here from Gilbey's Gin Tonics. The Matt and Jeff team.
Yeah, the Matt and Jeff combination. Willie Henry Lau, when he sets his mind to a game, is really something else also. There's going to be a push from behind there, but no calls were made. And again, Gilbey's goes to a fast break play. Henry Lau this time missing the layup.
Quickly to Wise. You know he can't move because of his injured right leg. Heavily taped below the knee.
Wants to
Massey
maneuver.
taking him. Cut inside and a score coming from Frankie Lim.
That was poor defensive play there by Saldana, because he could see Frankie already cutting into the 3-second area. Automatically he should have covered that guy. The pass would have been given and it was made.
Time is down to 6 and 43. It's a 2-point game being enjoyed by Gilbey's Gin Tonics. Freddie Webb forced to dispatch the talents of Fran Wise in spite of the fact that he's injured.
25-second violation, catching up with the Gilbey's Gin Tonics in that play, Pingoy.
Good tight defense being applied by Tanduay Rhum. We have a timeout. We'll be right back. It's a 2-point game being enjoyed by Gilbey's Gin Tonics. The biggest lead was 6 points, 77-71, while Tanduay Rhum had a 12-point lead with the score standing 47-35. Here is Wise being sandwiched by Joseph Herrera and Massey. Foul on Joseph.
Foul Herrera.
You know, the reason why they're trying to make Wise maneuver against Lou Massey is Massey has 4 fouls. If he gets his 5th foul, he's really going to be in trouble. Joseph Herrera picking his 4th foul, and a 13th foul called against the Gilbey's Gin Tonics. Turing Valenzuela called that timeout, even though they're ahead, and they have the advantage with Wise being handicapped, but he felt that his team was not really taking advantage. They were not running, you know, and they should really run because Wise cannot run against them. You know.
De La Rosa snapping another one.
9 points now for Bert De La Rosa, who only saw action in the second half.
As I see the role of Wise here, he is really playing the role of a decoy. You notice that every time he gets the ball, he's double teamed, and that leaves one other guy free to take the shot.
That's a perfect analysis, Bill. Yes, and he tries to continue to dribble so he can make sure that he can pass off to the guy who is free.
Correct.
And yet you can't really leave him alone.
No,
and,
no.
You have to keep on sandwiching him because he's got a good hand.
Definitely.
Melton.
And the guy that kept that ball alive was Saldi Latosa. You know, he kept it alive. He could not get the rebound, so he tapped it out, and it fell into the hands of George Melton.
Well, Melton now has scored 33 points, pulling down 18 rebounds, 14 and 4, playing with 3 personal fouls. Here's Massey. Latosa fawning him. Joseph is open. He gets away from Lim, bounce passing it to Massey. It is a foul called against
De La Rosa.
De La Rosa. That is the 2nd foul on Robert.
So 2 free throws for Big Lou Massey, who couldn't get the shot to fall for himself. 101 all, 4 minutes and 53 seconds. Your guess is as good as ours. Who's going to win this match?
101 all. This is now the 5th deadlock. By the way, don't fail to watch the heart-stopping crucial match between Toyota Super Corollas and San Miguel Beer in our delayed telecast following right after this match.
I think we won't give them any more clues. Enough has been said, but it's really a great ball game.
Definitely.
Massey is playing with 4 personal fouls together with Joseph Herrera, Henry Lau, and Terry Saldana. They've got 3 apiece. Dorsey's okay, only has 1. Time down to 4:45. Melton.
Oh, shooting over the outstretched arms of Dorsey. Dorsey played good defense there all the way. He was just a little bit late to intimidate the shot.
You know, Melton can hold on to his own.
That's right, definitely proving himself in this ball game. Good fake there by Dorsey. There's a foul called on George Melton.
That was smart on the part of Melton because Dorsey was able to sneak past through.
Let's see this play on our slow motion. Dorsey faking to the left, going to the right. There's the good block by Melton. I don't know if he got into body contact. We couldn't see it from this angle, Pingoy.
May have caught him in the body, but Melton, the point is, he didn't stop because that attempt of Dorsey had a chance to go.
That's right. Dorsey making the 2 free throws. It's a 2-point lead for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics.
Frankie Lim and Melton, they're carrying 4 personal fouls apiece. Wise has 1, he's limping. De La Rosa has 2. Watch him move. Using his strength, power, just hit the bracket.
But his timing there was a little bit off.
Continues to hustle.
Yes, tapping the ball out. Freddie Webb there, getting the bad breaks of this ball game.
You can see Fran Wise here. It's really all heart that's playing now.
Remarkable athlete. Dorsey and Latosa helping Melton and checking him from behind, but there is fun, and that brings him to his 5th personal foul.
It's going to be 2 liabilities right there. There's Dorsey working one-on-one on Melton. There was the foul called against George Melton. We have a timeout by Tanduay. We'll be right back.
By 2 points. Well, first time that they met, Dorsey loves to shoot against Tanduay at 51 points. 13 rebounds and 4 assists.
He's nearing that point production right now, Pingoy. 47 points and a 4-point lead for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics.
Low posting is Wise. There's a cut, give and go. Frankie Lim going to the other side. Here is Melton. He will take it.
He got Saldana up and down there.
Melton not doing bad. He's got 37 points and 18 rebounds, but he's got 5 personal fouls. Time 3:20 to go.
We want to give the ball to Dorsey for him to work one-on-one on Melton. Maybe get Melton out of this ball game.
There is Saldana. Henry Lau was open.
Only a couple of seconds left on their shot clock. Masi has to throw it up. And it's going to be a 25-second violation on their team.
You know, Andy, I was also always under the impression that while the 25th second horns and then that attempt hits a part of the ring, somehow it's still not alive.
It has to go in. If it doesn't go in when if it's in flight on the 25th second, it must go in. If it doesn't go in, it's going to be an automatic violation.
All or nothing. And we have a turnover. Here is Massey who wants to capitalize on it. Henry Lau. Joseph from 21.
Oh, a foot back, it would have been a 3-point shot.
Joseph now has 9 points to his credit. Had only 2 points during the first half. Tanduay needs a basket very quickly. 2:22 to go. They're down by 4 points. Massey leaning on Wise. He's even turning. He's crowded. Up he goes. Short. He really can't sky.
Yes, he can't jump. But there's a good follow-up there by Saldi Latosa, who has 6 points right now.
Latosa a basket in the third. 2 hits here in the fourth. It's a 2-point game.
Wise is really cringing in pain. Huh?
Yes,
Last
I think Freddie should
minutes.
pull him out.
Last 2 minutes.
I think it's cruel to keep him in the game.
Wise is grimacing in pain.
I think the referee should call an injury timeout here for there.
Well, Freddie Webb had to point to the referees.
30 seconds injury timeout. Tanduay Rhum.
There's no way that Wise can continue to play, it seems. You can see him really limping and he's in pain.
Why?
We have Lazaro coming into the ball game for Francois Wise, who gets an applause from everybody here.
Definitely Captain Courageous. And Fran Wise aggravated his injury because he wanted to really score for Tanduay Rhum, and he was pivoting, making a turn, taking Massey along with him.
That's right. You have to put a period there after everything else, you know.
And he's relieved by Freddie Webb. We now have Lazaro taking his place. De La Rosa.
Oh,
Henry Lau could be back to Massey. And
yes, it's
Massey
going to be
scores.
yes. But referee De Los Reyes says that the foul was committed before Massey could take up himself into the air, so it's going to be a side court throw. Let's take a look at that play. There you can see the pass to Massey. Lazaro pushing off. Yes, Massey didn't, he was pushed before he could even go for the attempt at the basket.
Time is 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. Dorsey shot block.
And whose foul is that on?
Could be Melton.
Foul. Melton.
Yes,
That's it.
that's it for George Melton. 6 fouls. Only 1 minute and 13 seconds left, and Melton finally fouls out of this ball game. Wise will be unable to continue to play anymore, I think.
Well, that is his physical situation, but Wise is beginning to stand up. As a matter of fact, he's telling Freddie Webb, let me give it a try, let me give it a try. Big heart, and Freddie Webb will have to push that button, maybe asking for a timeout. We don't hear the horn yet. Time is 1 minute and 13 to go.
There
It's
it
a
goes.
2-point game. It's Gilbey's. There goes the horn. We have a timeout. We'll be right back.
Some of the fans of the Tanduay Rum makers, the Gilbey's Gin Tonics, 2 free throws for Jackie Dorsey, 48 points right now. That's a 3-point lead for them. Wise was sent back into the ball game. Freddie Webb had to call that timeout to give him 1.5 minutes more rest, see how he can do, you know.
You know, Tanduay Rhum certainly has a big fighting heart, and you could see the frustrations of Turing Valenzuela because you've got an injured Fran Weiss, and that happened with 5:40 in the second quarter. Now that Melton is out because of 6 personal fouls, they really could not blow the game wide open.
That's right. That's a foul by Willie Henry-Relao. 14 foul called against Gilbeys. They still have 3 to give. Good cutting play there by Frankie Lim, and a very sorry miss for him there. It was a reverse layup there.
Time left, 50 seconds to go. Gilbey Gin Tonics on top by 4 points. Weiss on Dorsey, pressing on him. Here is Massey the other side. It's Lazaro.
Yes.
He backed off on Massey after the shot.
That could be the clincher for the Gilbey's Gin Tonics. They're up by 6 right now, and he has a chance for a 3-point play. That's Lou Massey.
We have 36.1.
White.
When Melton was disqualified, he contributed 37 points to his credit and pulled down a total of 19 rebounds. Latosa in now for Fran Weiss, who went straight to the dugout limping. And Fran Weiss performed with 15 points and 9 rebounds, 8 and 1.
3-point shot there by Ray Lazaro. Desperation shot actually. And only 25 seconds left in this ball game. A 7-point lead for the Gilbey's Gin Tonic, picking up their 6th victory against 7 defeats. Tanduay now going 5-8. Must win that ball game against Toyota to hope for a chance for a tie and a playoff. Whether Toyota won or lost the game